Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today. Hope you all are enjoying the Winter Olympics, I think. That's a thing which started today. That did start today, right? And I'm pretty sure the opening ceremony is today. I don't actually know if the event's going on at the same time. I mean, with Google Doodles, Winter Games 2022 begin. So you got to assume so. Oh, apparently something's already started. Honestly, I don't even know what the whole schedule is with the Olympics. So, hold on, let's see. The schedule and results. But there's not actually any sports I'd pay attention to in Winter Olympics. I mean, there's a few I do in the actual Olympics, but I don't really watch sports that often. There's not any. And I don't know. What would I watch? Hold on, we'll get into that in a second. Hello everyone. We're now in Fawnhollow. It's 5:16 PM on Friday, February 4th, 2022. Today is also Lily's birthday. How wonderful. Happy birthday. That's wonderful. We'll go celebrate Lily's birthday. Oh, I do like Skeleton. I do like Luge. Those ones are always very fun to watch due to how fast paced they are. So speed skating is also quite nice. Figure skating's not bad. So yeah, the ceremony. Oh yeah, I also get that it happens in the Olympics that the events actually start like a couple of days before the actual opening ceremony starts, which I assume it's just because there's not enough time in the actual whole like running stages of the Olympics to actually have everything go on simultaneously, but I don't actually know if that's the case, so perhaps I shouldn't say that so brazenly. Who's our visitor for today? Do we know? Today's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. So we are expecting someone. Is it a roaming visitor? It does appear to be a roaming visitor. I would guess it'd be Sahara. I don't really know, but we do need to make sure that we actually give a present to Lily. But firstly, we are going to head on over to Harv's Island. You might find it surprising I don't really catch up with much Winter Olympics because I have partaken in, I suppose, winter sports before. I've been ice skating. Have I taken ice skating lessons? Not really. I've only done it in events and that sort of thing. But I can ice skate. I've taken both snowboarding and skiing lessons for no apparent. I'm not gonna say no apparent reason. I talked about it before. It was honestly a fun time because there was like a dry slope which opened up not too far from when I was younger, and I just love them. But I've never been on a snowboarding or a skiing holiday, so I don't really know about that. Because I don't know. I guess I like the idea of being like in a sort of like a warm log cabin or a warm chalet, I suppose, after a day out on the slopes or whatever. But being out on the slopes is, I don't know. Maybe the appeal is just not quite there for me. These are both possibly fake. Like I don't know if this one's fake. It's a bit hard. No, that certainly looks fake. So we'll buy the other one because I think we have like 6 fake gold pearl earrings or gold star earrings, I suppose is the case. Yeah, it does sound like fun to, be in like a little log cabin with everyone, I suppose, after, a day on the slopes or whatever. But, actually being on the slopes, maybe it just doesn't appeal to me as much as I thought it would. I guess it's fun to do like these big circles, but then after a while, not like I get bored per se, but I'm just like, what else do I do? What else can I do? That's a horrible name, I apologise. Let us put this stuff away. But, I don't know, it's in a weird state where it's both simultaneously appealing and also simultaneously, like, not unappealing, but, like, I'm not sure I see the appeal at the same time. I've got sort of mixed views and that sort of thing, and I can't really tell exactly what I'd like to do. Would I like to be on a skiing holiday? Would I like to be on a snowboarding holiday? Anyway, that's not really neither here nor there because it's not really much of a hobby for me, so I suppose that didn't really translate to have a Winter Olympic watching. There's actually a lot fewer sports in the Winter Olympics than I expected. I've got this here. We got alpine skiing, which I haven't really seen much, and biathlon, which is basically skiing plus shooting. Bobsleigh, that's a pretty fun one to watch. Cross country skiing, which is just long distance skiing. I don't mean just as in it's not important or anything. It's just certainly like the straightforward, I suppose, to explain. Curling is one of the ones which I'm surprised how much I'm surprised at how much strategy is in there, but there's a deceiving amount of strategy, I suppose, in there, which I suppose should always be the case with any sort of competitive games, unless your competitive game is literally just like rock paper scissors or rolling a dice. But even rock paper scissors has surprising strategy because of like human psychology, whatever. But I don't know, there was this one time I just like read a load about curling for really no apparent reason. I found it very interesting. Figure skating's of course very graceful and very elegant, but probably one of my favourite ones. I did forget about that. Because I think figure skating and rhythmic gymnastics are both very cool sports. Anything with like this sort of choreography, I suppose, and very artistic expression seemed very fun. well, maybe not fun. It might be, you know, it's probably grueling, and certainly to train for it. But it's very fun to watch. I mean, freestyle skiing, I don't really know what the difference is. I guess that's like doing tricks, I suppose, while you're skiing down a big alpine slope. Ice hockey, never actually seen a game of ice hockey. I don't think. I don't really know what it's about. I know they sort of like fight each other on a rink, but that's about as far as I know. Yeah, I don't really know what else. I don't even know how many there's on one side on a team in ice hockey. I'm gonna guess 7, maybe 9. Luge, as I said, Luge and Skeleton I think are actually both quite fun to watch, just due to the intense speed, you know, something about them just rattling down the, I don't know what it's called, the run, like 1,000,000 miles per hour seems very entertaining to watch. Chop down tree, set a hot item, customize, redeem Nook miles. These are all very doable things. But let us wrap up this present and make sure we give it to Lily once we see her. Are you thinking? Oh, you're not thinking. I thought you might have been thinking. She might have just been eating ice cream, but we're going to Cap'n Island. Short track speed skating. I don't really know the difference between short track speed skating and normal speed skating, I'll be honest. Oh, I missed out Nordic Combined. I don't know what Nordic Combined is. I've never even heard of this. What is this? Nordic Combined. What will you tell me about what this sport is? Sports, here we go. Nordic Combined. Nordic Combined. Is it like the pentathlon equivalent for Olympics? I don't know. What? Oh, hold on. You do a large hill 10 kilometers, large hill 4 by 55 kilometers, and individual girds and normal hill. What? It's made of 2 separate sports: ski jumping and cross country skiing. Okay, so it's basically you do one of each, I assume. I mean, I guess you can't really do a pentathlon. Why isn't there a pentathlon or equivalent in Winter Olympics? You know, why isn't there like you have to do a snowboarding, skiing, speed skating, I guess luge, and skeleton, or maybe like luge / skeleton, and then ski jumping. Why not combine all 5 of them? That should be a thing, you know. I'm always very impressed by the sort of pentathlon, decathlon sort of things. While they may not be the people who are exactly best at the individual category, but the fact that they can do so well, I suppose, over 10 categories or whatever, is very, very interesting. Even if there's a lot more overlap, I suppose it's a lot easier to do like larger numbers like decathlon and pentathlon, I suppose, in the actual Olympics, because a lot of them like tend to have a bit of overlap. Like there's like 3 different races, like running races, I think, in the decathlon. Oh, to be fair, the modern pentathlon is very, very different, isn't it? Isn't it like running, cycling, no, running, sprinting, horseback riding, fencing, running, swimming, horseback riding, fencing, and something else, which I can't really recall. It's a very strange combination of sports, but apparently it was like the 5 sports which are meant to make a good, like, modern, oh, not modern, but modern at the time when it was created, soldier or something. I honestly can't recall. But we are here on Acorn Island. We don't really need any of these recipes. I think we might have all the acorn recipes, I'm not sure, but we don't particularly need any of the acorns, because Cornwall certainly gave us quite a few. I guess short track speed skating, how much shorter is short track speed skating compared to speed skating? This is where, I mean, I suppose we're on literally the Olympic website, so we might as well look. So speed skating goes 500, 1,000, 1,500, 5,000, 10,000? My word. But it seems like the same. Except for there's no 5,000 and no 10,000. And I guess there's team relays? What is a new short track speed skating mixed relay? What? Oh, I guess it's like they're introducing mixed relays, like just like how swimming introduced mixed relays as well, which are pretty cool. And I'm not just saying that because I was biased, because Great Britain won a medal. Great Britain won a medal, right? I got a medal in the Olympics in Tokyo. Snowboarding, speed skating. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's only 15 sports. I mean, I suppose there's perhaps only so many things you can do on snow and ice compared to, you know, whatever other ground. Or maybe there are probably numerous other sports you can do on snow and ice. It just, you know, haven't caught on into the modern eye yet. I wonder if they're introducing more and more of these different sports, I suppose. That'd be cool to see. Anyway, hello Vivian. I see you're eating a different food item now. Also, I will say we know our visitor is at either Flick or CJ now, because everyone else was actually at Harv's Island, which is interesting. I think we've seen CJ earlier this week, right? Or was it we seen Flick? I don't really recall. Anyway. I don't know. I'm just trying to think, if I was to invent like a winter sport, or we Winter Olympics, what would you invent? I mean, I know like a pentathlon, I suppose, equivalent for the Olympics is not really inventing a sport, but that's certainly one I'd like to see. But if I had to invent like a completely new sport, like the thing is with the actual Olympics, a lot of athletics things. But there's a lot of athletics things, you know, because it tests quite a wide variety of skills, you know. But they don't really seem to be here or represented in the Winter Olympics, because you know there's no sports about throwing things in Winter Olympics, but you got, you know, like 3 different ones in the Summer Olympics. You got shot put, javelin, hammer throw, discus. Is discus still a thing? I actually can't remember if discus is still a sport or not. It must be a thing in the Olympics, probably. I don't know. You got 4 different ones all about throwing things in the Summer Olympics, and Winter ones you got 0. Like, why don't you have... Well, okay, I mean, I guess if you want to try and be really big brain about it, you might be like, ooh, isn't curling just a throwing sport? I mean, maybe... I feel like it's more of a curler's attitude, not curler's attitude, a professional curler should probably weigh in about rather than me. I mean, like a kind of... I guess it's kind of like the winter version of a throwing sport. But it's more to do with precision than raw distance. What if we had a raw distance one? How far could you slide, like, one of those curling stones across, like, ice or something? Because I guess the problem is, if you can't just, like, copy-paste shot put, discus, hammer throw directly over into the Winter Olympics and, you know, just, like, be like, oh, we're doing it on snow or ice now, is different. No, because it's exactly the same. And, you know, when you get into logistical things, why do those sports get 2 things that they compete in every year, but people are probably just going to compete with some ones, because I imagine with some ones get more viewership. I don't actually know, maybe that's country dependent. I'd imagine maybe the Nordic countries probably prefer the Winter Olympics, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's not as easy as sort of like copy pasting. It has to be like legitimately something which is incorporated into the sort of the iciness and the snow environment that you got going on. So really, I guess the only thing you have is sliding things across the ice. But you should have like a power version of curling, you know? Curling's all about techniques, okay, not to say that there's like, I don't know, what it would be. Stone sliding, I guess. Wouldn't have technique or anything, but curling's a lot more about precision, I suppose, and very subtle technique, and sometimes it's a lot about strategy as well, from what I understand. Like, what sort of toss should you do? Should you like throw some blockers out, or should you like just like fully send it to try and get clear the path for some stones? I don't know, I'm not an expert in curling, I'll be perfectly honest, so I'm not really sure exactly of strategy, but you get what I mean, probably. We've got to chop a tree down, so we'll have to make sure to do that. What was I going to say? But why not have one? I guess the problem is you probably need a really, well, okay, one, it's not actually a sport that I'm aware of, but you'd probably also need like a really long track for it, right? Like, I mean, the thing which eventually stops referring sports is, you know, gravity eventually has to pull it down. But the thing is, ice is very slippy, unsurprisingly. The whole lack of friction thing could probably ensure that the stones that you slide across the ground will go for a huge distance, which might be a little bit more inconvenient, I suppose, to really house anywhere. Yeah, again, there is alpine skiing. Actually, now I think about it, I wonder where in... Because these are the Beijing 2022 Olympics. There's not really, like, many mountains and, like, snowy areas in Beijing themselves, I wonder. So well, maybe there are, but I'm not particularly aware of where they are. I wonder where the actual stadiums and things are. I'm surprised there's a sign-in button on the Olympics. Just to sort of be like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd need an account for. Oh, I guess you can get personalised news. Create your own Olympic fantasy team. You know what? Fair enough. That's actually kind of a cool idea. Let's go to Lily's house or celebrate her birthday. We'll see what she's got to say. I don't know. Anything cool happening about opening ceremony? That's why I go on the front page of Reddit to see if anything cool has happened. If anyone's talking about it. Not. Oh, hey, Phoebe's here again. Happy, come on in. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Lily. It's so flattering to have visitors on my birthday, and I'm really touched that some friends have gifts for me. Have had gifts for me. Excuse me, I brought this for you. I need a sip of water, that's what I need. I did actually record some Death's Door today, so that's probably why my throat is getting kind of dry. Oh, for me? Really? This is so exciting. Oh, look at that. It's some peaches. What a treat. Thank you for this. You're such a sweetheart for thinking of me. You made this a special day, and I really appreciate your gift. Thank you, Fabu. Aww. I'm so lucky to be able to spend my birthday with friends, Rainy. It'd be really nice if, you know, some of the villages would hold their birthday party on like the town hall or something. Maybe not the town hall. Our town hall is quite small, but you know, the town square. You know, certainly some villages I'd imagine would rather have like all the entire town. I suppose they're celebrating. It's Lily's Rockstar Day. Come on, it's time to get wild, sweetheart. Oh, I know. Let's all cheer real loud whenever Lily smiles. We can do that. I still get stoked at seeing a birthday cake. Having a whole cake to myself was a dream when I was a kid. Now I just want to share one with friends. Bah, I sound so old. Decorations look awesome, and they should. We've been working our feathers off, sweetheart. I just love that special birthday flavour a room gets when it's all snazzy, you know. You got anything else to say, Lily? I hope I can spend my next birthday here on the island too, Rainy. Me too, Lily, me too, but alas, we've got stuff to attend to, but we'll take our leave. But happy birthday to you, Lily. Heading out already? Thank you again for coming to see me, and for bringing me a present too. I hope you'll continue being such a good friend to me. Aw, Lily. What an absolute sweetheart. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't know, did anything cool happen in the opening ceremony? I haven't seen it, I don't know. I've seen none of the Olympics, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't even know if I saw the Summer Olympics opening ceremony. No, I saw part of it. I saw the guy who did like acted out all the pictograms, that was pretty cool. But I did not see anything else that I can recall. I know. I mean, I remember the Beijing 2008 Summer Olympics. I thought those were pretty cool. The opening ceremony and all that. I remember the drummers. That might be the only thing I remember. Look, give me a break. I was like 10, 11? 11. No. I wasn't 11 yet. I was 10. Ooh, saved. If I was 11, that would have been mighty embarrassing. Hot item. And we need to buy something. I guess we'll buy some more customization kits. We are, of course, running out, as always. I forgot what the other missions were, sorry. Customize hot item. Customize, craft, chop wood. Okay. I don't know. No one's really saying anything about the Olympics. I wonder what the difference is in viewership from the Summer to the Winter Olympics. Anyway, I know this Winter Olympics is certainly quite a not conscientious, sorry, contentious one. You know, with the whole Omicron and perhaps new variants coming out of this pandemic situation, which seems to be a rather endless nightmare right now. Yeah, I agree. Not exactly an optimal situation, but I suppose that ongoing now isn't not really much I can particularly do in the way of it. I'm not even going to watch or anything. It's just like the only big news, I suppose, which is really happening right now. I mean, okay, there's other news. Depending on your circles that you may partake in, you know, the Genshin Impact 2.5 preview live stream was here. Most people don't care about that though, who watch these videos, I'd imagine. I mean, that might not be true. Perhaps there's a larger overlap for Genshin Impact and Animal Crossing than I might have expected, but I wouldn't really count on it. Something about that seems like we might have different audiences to me. Or maybe not, I don't really know. Hello, Audie. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I don't know, did anything else really happen? Oh yeah, let's go talk to Pecan and we'll give her the fossils. A fossil present, we're going to win her over. I'm just seeing, is there anything? I don't know. Who knows? I guess nothing particularly interesting happened in the Olympics, which I'm not going to be like, oh, this must have been a bad opening ceremony. It just, you know, it is. I know a lot of countries like pulled out of doing the Olympics for fair reasons, I think. You know, pulling out because, you know, there's a whole very infectious illness going around. You know, good reason to not partake in a big meeting event, but, and I don't know. But you would have thought more people would have pulled out of the Summer Olympics, which maybe people did. What did you give us? That is very cute, I'm not gonna lie. That's something I feel like we should give to Fauna. if we ever get her as an islander. Of course, at some point I need to get a Fauna card. I should just buy one, or I should just make one. I'm just lazy, I suppose. But it's so cheap as well, it's like £5. It's gonna cost me no time at all. Just get it ready, just so when Pecan's ready to move, we can actually start inviting. You know what I should do? I should do it and then invite Fauna twice. And then on camera I can do all the games and stuff like, and you can actually see what happens. And then, you know, just don't invite for her the third time until we get Pecan's present. Either that or March 20th comes around, whichever comes first, I suppose. Because as I said, I do want all 10 of my... I don't want a green one. I do want all 10 of my ideal villagers on this island, I suppose, if I can help it. It's just such a shame. I wanted to get them more naturally, but, you know, turns out you can't really get them more naturally unless you particularly want to do it via waiting years and years and years, I suppose, for the right villager to come through the campsite. Just because of a little thing that Nintendo decided to put in, where the last villager cannot ever ask to move away. Just one of the strangest... No, I understand why we did it. I'm talking about... Sorry, I shouldn't complain about this all the time. No one even cares about this except for me. It's such a niche thing to be a problem, because everyone else... Like, if you wanted a specific villager, you would have just got the amiibo cards, and if you didn't care about your villager, you wouldn't really care who asked to leave or who asked to stay. But anyway, that's not really the point. I don't really have a point. I don't know. Valentine's Day is coming up, I guess. That's kind of cool. Well, for some people, not for every person. I think it's cool, even if I'm not in a relationship, you know. Nice to have a sort of designated day to confess your love or whatnot. You know, having designated days is great. Everyone's on the sort of same page about goals, I suppose, on that sort of note. I don't really know where I was going with this. Let me entertain you. No, what was I going to say? I was going to... I don't know what I was going to say. Let's see all the stuff we've got going on. I don't know. Do I have anything else to say about Winter Olympics? I'm not sure if I've ever actually watched stuff in the Winter Olympics. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm trying to think if I have, but I can't think of anything that I've watched in the Winter Olympics off the top of my head. I'm sure it's happened. I'm almost certain it's happened, but I just don't watch a lot of TV when sporting like things are on. Not that I hate sports or anything. I'm just like, you know, there's only a select few sports I particularly am that interested in. So catch snowflakes, plant a fruit tree, and let us make this hot item as well. Whatever it may be. We should probably look to get some fossils identified as well. Excuse me, why didn't sell this hardwood? It's not sell that, sell that. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right to me. Hopefully this is by 5,000. Oh, just about. Let us see what our... hot item is. Isn't it a bit strange? You can't check what the hot item is in store. Maybe you can. Maybe you talk to Timmy and Tommy, but it's certainly a lot easier to leave and do that. I don't know, did I watch... What was the Winter Olympics before this one? It was a 2018 Sochi Olympics? Is that right? I didn't pay attention. Log stool. That's certainly the easiest one out of those ones, I think. What? Was it 2014 Sochi? No. Wait, No. That can't be 24. Wait, maybe it was 24. No, hold on. It was 2010 Vancouver. I don't know why I remember that one. Actually, I do know why I remember that one. I remember that one because it was a Mario Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games. Wii game. Excuse me, which I did own. I wonder if they made one for Beijing. Because isn't it like different companies a lot of the years buy the rights to make that Olympic Games, which is why there wasn't a Mario and Sonic one. Which, by the way, I think are some really good ones, to be honest. They're not necessarily the best ones. I don't understand why only one company has to make them, to be perfectly honest. But let me think, hold on. Yeah, the 2008 Mario and Sonic of the Beijing Olympic Games. It's the first one I owned. The 2010 Vancouver ones. The 2012 London ones was not made by Mario and Sonic. Nintendo and Sega. They did the 2014... it must have been the Sochi ones, I think. The 2012 one was a separate like London 2012 one made by, I don't know, it was on PlayStation and one of my friends had it and it was very funny. I'll be honest. It's weird because, like, you know, the Mario and Sonic ones are of course a very sort of different flavour. But, you know, they're very comical, very cartoony. They're not meant to be taken all that seriously. They're very, like, abstracted. But the London 2012 one was surprisingly competitive with whatever was going on. Actually, maybe there was a Mario and Sonic London 2012 one. I feel like it wasn't, though. I'm not really sure. I'm getting a little bit confused in my mind. Anyway, in 2016, what was that, Rio? That sounds right. In 2018... I don't know. And in 2020, which actually was 2021, of course, was Tokyo. Hold on. This way. Host cities for Olympics. Also, the Google Doodle is very cute today, but you know what I should look up? I should look up what the mascot is for the This Olympics. List of Olympic Games host city. Athens, Greece is not many ones. We want the much more modern ones. Let's see. So 2010. Okay, 2008 Beijing, 2010 Vancouver, 2012 London, 2014 Sochi. Did I say Sochi, Korea? Sochi's not in Korea. Why did I? in my head, I was saying Sochi this entire time. I was thinking of a Korean one. Reading this has not that I didn't realise this. It just made me realise I was thinking that Sochi was in Korea, and obviously Sochi's not in Korea. Sochi's in Russia. I don't know why I thought about that entire time. Then Rio, then 2018 is a Korea one. That's why I was like, I can't think of what the other one was. It's because I merged two of them together due to my terrible geography knowledge. And of course the 2021 quote in Tokyo. 2022 in Beijing again, which is weird that they didn't choose a different area for China. Is the Chinese ones always in Beijing? Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. Oh, these are the only times China's ever held the Olympics. I don't know that. And we got Paris in 2024 in 2 years' time. Then Milan for Italy one in 2026. And Los Angeles in 2028. And Brisbane in 2032. I didn't realise they determined them so far in advance. My word. Actually, no, I did. Now I think about it, because the 2012 London Olympic ones were determined when I was in reception. I remember the assembly when they talked about it being announced. And our teacher basically got us... maybe I was in year 2. How old was I in year 2? 6 or so? So 18 years ago? So that would have been 2004. So it was about 8 years in advance. Okay, so that is about right. You remember, maybe it was about 10 years in advance. Maybe it was reception. I just remember the teacher wanted me to go get a Union Jack. So she was like, "Can you go back to the classroom and ask the teacher's assistant if there was a if she can give us a Union Jack with this assembly?" And I was like, "Sure." And I had no idea what Union Jack was, to be perfectly honest. So luckily the teacher's assistant knew. If I remember, teacher's assistant was some girl from Europe, some East European girl. So she knew what it was. Luckily. I don't know why I added that detail. It's just for some reason I feel like that's who she was. Nice lady. Anyway, I was just like, "Can I have a Union Jack, please?" Despite not knowing what a Union Jack was. Which, of course, now I know what Union Jack is. But, if you don't know, it's the UK's flag. It's just called a Union Jack. Why? I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But, I brought it, and she gave it to me. And I just, pretended that's exactly what I wanted. Despite thinking in my head being like, "Is this what a Union Jack is? It's a flag? It's a plastic flag?" And I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Thank you," and gave it back. And I remember the reception teacher was like, "All right, because they were deciding. I think it was like between London, Paris, and 3 other countries or something. And maybe we were short. It got down to London and Paris. And then our teacher was like, maybe we should cheer really loudly. So maybe the judges or whatever who are thinking about it and the Olympic Committee can hear our cries and then choose London for the 2012 Olympics." And then we all went, "Yeah!" And then lo and behold, the 2012 Olympics were being held in London. I'm not going to say it was because of our reception class, reception year 1 and year 2 class, but hello, Flick, there you are. We don't have anything to give you, if I recall, so that's going to be quite a nuisance. I'm not going to say it's because of our primary school younger years class made it happen, but could it be just a coincidence? I think not. Well, I think so actually, but still. I don't know where we're going with this Winter Olympics. On the plus side, at least, the Winter Olympics is not going to be something I've spoken about before, probably, in these videos, because one hasn't happened since I started these videos. I don't know where I was going with this, I'll be perfectly honest. But yeah, I don't know, if you're enjoying them, fair enough, I guess. If you're abstaining from them because you don't agree with them carrying on during the pandemic situation, also fair enough. But otherwise, I suppose they're going on whether I like it or not. And I don't really know what I think about it, to be honest. I haven't really formed much of an opinion of it. I just just wanted to state facts. That's all I am. I'm just stating facts. I'm just saying what's happening. The Winter Olympics are happening today. I don't even know when we started, but maybe the ceremony was cool, maybe it wasn't, who knows. Hopefully it was. Hopefully it was at least some cool things, but I don't know, but there is an opening ceremony for Winter Olympics, isn't there? Maybe it's not as big a performance thing as the summer ones are, which is, I guess, fair enough. Maybe. I don't know why I keep thinking Sochi's in Korea. What's wrong with me? My geography, I was going to say I promise my geography isn't that bad, but I guess it kind of is. Anywho, let us try and find Uno Mass Snowflake. so we can round off this episode here. Apparently none of them exist. Maybe we'll just round off this episode here. It's not like we particularly need Nookmar missions anyway, Nookmar points anyway. So if you haven't watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.